Well.
We're back.
Is that what you call it?
Yeah, we're back. It's Marriage Monday.
What up, everybody?
Come on in.
No, this is totally random. We thought we'd jump in real quick.
Spontaneous.
Pop-up. It's a pop-up Marriage Monday. What up, everybody? I don't know if you saw this coming or not, but nevertheless, we here. We up. Good evening. Jump in with us real quick and share.
Share. I was about to say share.
Yeah, because people don't know.
They don't know. Yeah. Share a couple of times. Like share, then share. Hey, Key Love.
Key Love, the first one in the building.
It's coming up. Oh my gosh, I miss you guys. We miss you guys too.
What up, IG? We are going live for Marriage Monday real quick, about 30 minutes. It's better on YouTube and or Facebook, all right? But we just did it on IG for the IG tribe.
Just to let you know.
Just to let y'all know, because there's so many of y'all over here. I didn't want to leave you out. But if everybody can jump in and tag and share like a couple of times.
Giving us hearts. Thank you so much.
What up, y'all? It feels good. That's good. Tag and share. We're going to talk about it tonight, reimagining the relationship. Reimagine your relationship. Do I have micro locks? No.
They're getting so long. They're Jesus.
It's the real deal.
His hair is longer than mine.
It is, but not this week. I need y'all to rock with us. Come on, log in, type, tag, tell somebody. And we about to jump in. We in the building, y'all. Yeah. And I need y'all to tell everybody you know that it's Marriage Monday.
Yeah.
We're going to talk about reimagining your relationships. All right? That's where we at. Again, for my IG family, I just jumped on my phone real quick so that you could tell everybody, share it with somebody, and hop on YouTube or Facebook. Yeah. YouTube is the preferred place. Tell somebody, share. Let us know where you coming in from. Let us know where you're coming in from. Yeah. Share with us. And so good to catch up with you and see you and see your face. Sit up. Yeah, I want you to have a good posture, all right? Let us know where you at and what's happening. We're going to talk about reimagining your relationship tonight. When y'all hear that, let me know by typing it on the screen. Reimagine your relationship. All right? I love y'all back. Back. Reimagine your relationship. Reimagine your
so much.
Relationship.
That's so sweet.
Where you coming in from?
We got Florida in here, Chicago.
Yeah.
Of course, we have Chicago.
What up, Chi-Town?
North Carolina, yeah.
So good. I want to touch you. I'm touching. You touching and agreeing with the people.
Oh, okay,
yeah.
Sorry.
All right, we about to get started, y'all. I need you to tag. Everybody else will catch it on the replay. But y'all doing good for a pop-up. We up to 60 people here and about 20 or so over here on IG.
Type it in Houston.
Holler at us. IG.
Syracuse.
On
We'll come on New York.
Or
New York. Tinley Park. Yeah, Tinley Park.
Jump over on Facebook or YouTube. That's where you'll get a better visual. And not half of her and half of me on this little screen. All right. But we wanted to rock with you on IG so y'all know what's happening.
Y'all.
All right. 30 minutes quick. That's what we're trying to get in and out. But you know how y'all do. So
okay, y'all pull.
We are talking about reimagining relationships tonight. Reimagine relationships. Type it on the screen and let us know. We are and thought that we would just drop in and say what's up to everybody. We just celebrated our anniversary this month.
17.
Yeah, we celebrated our anniversary this month. Been years together, and we have been moving. Palm Sunday, Resurrection Sunday. My wife's a doula, so she's been delivering babies, doing her doula duty, delivering babies, and it's just been a lot. And in addition to that, Resurrection Sunday, and my birthday is coming up this week.
Friday,
that's right. So we just thought, hey, we haven't been on a Marriage Monday since February. So we thought we'd come in and say what's up and see what y'all been talking about, what y'all dealing with. And we just gonna be real vulnerable, and real vulnerable, real transparent. We always do this out of our own space, right? And what we've been sensing and what we're talking to couples, other couples that we talk to, and just what's happening. And so tonight we want to talk about reimagining relationships, reimagining your relationship. So I don't know about you, but around my birthday, she's 2 weeks after me. We're that close in birth, both firstborns in the birth order, and 2 weeks after me or so, but around my birthday, I'm super reflective. I go in, right? So I'm an introvert more than people think I am, right? I'm an extrovert when it's necessary, but I like to go in. And so I go in, start reflecting on me, my family, my relationships, my health, just my mindset, just where my energy is being distributed, how it's functioning, how it's working. And I check in. Every anniversary, we try to sit down and have a check-in just about touching base with where we are. And when that need is there in our relationship, we can feel the need for a conversation. And we talk all the time, every day, but not to have that sit down conversation. And so when that time is coming and we're reevaluating, I'm super sensitive. I won't speak for her. I don't know if she is, but I'm super sensitive because I'm just feeling and thinking and feeling through. Why are you biting your? You kind of bit your lip.
I wasn't biting my lip.
What, you got something to say about
that?
I
don't have nothing to say.
I mean, I'm just saying. So
you're being
I'm being what?
What you said?
Oh, really? Okay. So anyway, I can be super sensitive. I admit it, but it's because I'm in a stretch place of trying to be better and trying to evaluate where we are, right, and what we're doing. Do you guys do checkups in your marriage? Not just when something's wrong in your relationships, not just when something's wrong, but when it's time. Let me know. Do you sense when there's a timing, when there's something that you need to discuss, or not necessarily because it's a problem, but just a moment in time, right? You're another year, you're growing, you're maturing, and you sense a need for a reconnect. Do y'all see that? Do y'all say that that's something that you do? Let me know. Holler at me in the chat. That's something. Yes, right. So sometimes, right? Sometimes, not so much. Yes, right. So it's better to initiate a conversation because you're growing than to have to have a conversation because something's wrong.
Or then even to explode.
Right.
Because you need to have a conversation.
Right. Yeah. So in the sense of this, I'll just fast forward. So we were having a moment. I was in here working and I was doing something. And while I was working, my wife called herself being sensitive to my work environment. And she went and got food for the entire family and came back, and I got out of my work meeting and I saw food and smelled food, and I went in there and I didn't see any food for me, right? And so she got food for everybody except me. Can y'all believe that, right? So when out of that moment, I think I felt a certain kind of way, right? I felt almost I don't really know. I was upset. I felt dishonored, if I'm honest. I felt as the provider, the breadwinner, that you went to go get food for everyone else and excluded me. I wouldn't say that I felt like she did it intentional or on purpose to hurt me, but I would say that I felt like it was an oversight, right? And so right there in the middle of the kitchen, I ruined lunch, right? Because nobody wanted to eat. She and I started going back and forth in the presence of our children, not something we do. We don't really raise our voice or get into any tensions like that. But in the same sense, it happened, right? And so my daughter left, my son left. They didn't want to eat. She went her way, I went my way. And it just created a tension because in that moment, it was really about unmet expectations and unexpressed feelings. And it was time for us to have a conversation, and we did not have it. And so that brought about this moment where I just felt underappreciated, if I'm honest, or undervalued. A simple thing like going to get everybody food but me put me in that space. Talk about where you were and what your perspective or how you see it or how you saw it.
Okay, so for me, he knows that I am super always trying to accommodate him. I try very hard. And usually on this day, it's his Sabbath and he's working and he's head mode. And there have been plenty of times that I have asked him, do you want something to eat? What do you want? No, I don't want it. You see that I'm working. Like, and so when someone says that to you, you try to respect that so that you are not disrespecting them by not hearing what they said. And so, he was engaged in his conversation. Everybody knew it. We have house rules. And so I was like, let me get them something to eat because I'm getting ready to leave. And he knew that I was getting ready to be gone for at least about 90 minutes, maybe even 3 hours. And I didn't want him to have to worry about feeding the kids. I was just trying to take care of that. And I didn't know what he wanted to eat. And he was in a meeting. And that was really all it was. And when he blew up, I was just so hurt. I was so hurt. I felt like I had disappointed him in a majorly, and that was not my intent. And for someone that you're trying very, like, I'm doing all of these things to make sure that you can do what you need to do. And that one little thing, nothing else of what I tried to do mattered. It didn't matter. And it was, I had to get myself together because I was getting ready to go out with somebody and even almost contemplated forfeiting my ticket and not going and all that other kind of stuff. And it was in front of the kids. And, you just try to get through it. You're just trying to figure out, what did I do wrong? What can I do differently? All that other kind of stuff. And then, at the end of it, everybody was right. Everybody's perspective, his hurt feelings, him feeling dishonored. And that's kind of what I had to explain to my kids, because they were just kind of like, what the heck just just happened? And I said, daddy's a little frustrated. And sometimes when you're frustrated, you don't always look at everything. You're just frustrated. And any little thing can just kind of set you off. And that's all that it is. It's nothing else, because they always, they immediately go, something's got to be wrong with you. I was like, no, I was just trying to make it a teachable moment. But in that moment, I was like, okay, where do I need to adjust myself? Because I don't want my husband to feel like he's being dishonored. And that's what when I walked away, that's what I felt. Like he felt he was dishonored, and it was with my hands.
And so for me, it was like trying to not take it personal, right? Like she did something to me, but yet it was extremely personal, because I can't lie or deny that I felt like you went and got food for everybody but me, right? In the house. And I felt like, because of the nature that you take care of me, right? So I both had to give you the benefit of the doubt that you always take care of me in that space. But yet I also had to ask, but why didn't you do it in that moment, in that day? Especially that was being the day after our anniversary celebration, which we had a very beautiful and intimate day, right? And so the tension for that, I had to deal with and come to grips with. My feelings are valid, but I won't take them out on you. But I need to explain that sometimes in a moment of reevaluation, you can be the spouse that feels taken for granted almost, right? Like both men and women in a relationship can be in a space where you almost feel like the other person takes you for granted, right? So I'm the primary breadwinner. I take care of everything for her in that regard, right? We have our roles, we have an understanding, and I enjoy in how I serve my wife and my family in that space, as well as she do. But in the same space, there's moments and times where you feel like you should feel like you're always a priority, or feel like that, you should be, not taken for granted. Like everybody else eating, everybody else have food. Why is it that you wouldn't bring me food? You know what I'm saying? Like I paid for all the food. How can you go pay for food? What's the look about?
Nothing.
What's the look about? That was a real look. I need to understand
Because the
that.
other thing is like you act like you are just the most, oh yes, this is what I want. Like the kids, I went to Wendy's. He don't eat nothing at Wendy's. You know what I'm saying?
But for me, it wasn't about where you went to get food from. It was about, did you go get food for me? You didn't just go to Wendy's. You went to Wendy's for one of the kids, Chipotle for
I didn't do that one. That
Yeah.
wasn't there.
It
went
was
to Burger King, babe.
No, it wasn't.
Okay.
But nevertheless, what I'm saying is you went to multiple. Monet was eating a bowl. So you went to multiple spaces and multiple places. It really wasn't about where you went to get food. It was about the process of being in a marriage and in a relationship and not feeling valued or appreciated in a space, right? So sometimes that same treatment or that space is something that you could feel, something that I could feel, something that people feel in a relationship. And so when you're feeling this space or feeling this place in this relationship, what do you do? As she said, both sides is right. Sometimes you agree to disagree. Sometimes there's tension in that. And how do you deal with it? How do you move past it? And so I think that the framework, but I didn't want to cut you off because you were saying something in an emotion that you felt in that moment when I said that, because I was saying that, I felt like as being a breadwinner, you didn't bring me anything to eat. And you were saying that you didn't bring me anything to eat because I wouldn't want to eat what y'all ate.
Yeah, because it's neither here nor there.
It is.
Well, it was just funny because it was like the joke in the car was, I'm like, now I'm going to come home and your dad is going to want something. And there's like, no, he's not even ready to eat. Like, and I guess that's why it was so shocking to them.
Exactly.
Because they were even in the mindset, no, he's not. And to be honest, like, and I think this is kind of moving toward everything else, is that now it's now because we have kind of learned what to do on this particular way of things and pushing autopilot in something versus like, just ignoring, whatever worked before or whatever was the rule before no longer is the rule. Because his thing with his thing he said to me was, you could have just came in there like you do for everything else. And I was like, we don't come in there. When we see you engage in the conversation, we don't come in there. And now that's different. Now it's like, no, you can, because it's okay. Like all of that kind of stuff. So like even kind of embracing the fact that you are what worked before or what was necessary before no longer is necessary. And so you could be holding on to an old idea that does not, that in your heart and in your space and in your perspective, you're like, I'm just going according to what has always been. And on his side, he's like, no, that ain't how it is no more. It's like, okay, well, I didn't know that, and that's why I'm like, every side is right. But that pressure allowed to have, you were allowed to have a perspective and a conversation, and then kind of realize that we are in a different space,
right?
And not in a negative space, but
right.
Just in a different space. And what we have been accustomed to doing respectfully, I appreciate the respect that you have done, but that no longer exists. I'm in a different space now. I don't need those things now. I've learned how to do this that I've been doing in my sleep now. I got a rhythm now. And it's like, you got to make sure that everybody else is a part of that rhythm too.
Right. So I needed you to push into that and not just shut it down, because that's where we landed, because you're only disappointed. We are only disappointed by our own expectations, right? So that's something we learned and know. And this particular expectation was an expectation, but not expressed. Now, it wasn't expressed because I didn't think it was something I need to say, because you teach people how to treat you. And my wife has taught me that she's going to look out for me. She'll go get food for me. She'll go do whatever. If I'm working or whatever, she'll just know, right? Now my menu does change, my diet changes or whatever, but although she teases me about that, it's not been that big of a conflict. So her point was, where I'm going to eat, you would not want to eat. My point was, you went to get food to eat and didn't bring me anything to eat, right? So I'm disappointed. She thinks she's being courteous, and it created indifference. So in that space, what do? How do you reimagine a relationship? Well, that shows that that little tension of something we would have easily moved through, ha ha ha, laughed off, wouldn't have been an issue a while ago. At this stage and phase in our relationship is an issue. So the first thing we have to do to heal, to move past, to grow from it, to learn, to not let this chasm be between us, is we have to have a vision conversation. So if everybody could just type vision, right? So the first thing out of three things, and we said all that transparency, all that truth, and as you can see, we still have two different sides. We agree, we understand how the other person is, but we wanted to do that live, right in front of you, no fake, no fluff. You see that there's still a perspective. I see from y'all all got opinions about it, about me, about her, and that's fine. But think about your own relationships and think about how you are disappointed by your own unmet expectations, or your spouse is disappointed by their own unmet expectations because something wasn't properly communicated, something wasn't properly handled, something you thought they would handle. Oh, I thought you would pay the bills, so I didn't know I had to remind you or say thank you or say whatever. Or I thought you was going to cook me food, so I didn't think I had to tell you I was hungry. Just cook me some food. Or I thought you know, so it's like in a relationship, you start to get to know each other and you just think that the other person will do certain things or need certain things, and then start to create these boundaries. And in that space, you miss the moments of growth opportunities, and they end up being tension points that causes dissension and discord instead of development. All right. So everybody types vision. So we need to have a vision conversation, right? So who's responsible for what? At this stage in our marriage, right? We're a team. We're a unit. Who's responsible for what? Who does what? It's 100 and 100. What is your role at this phase? What is my role at this phase, right? And then what do you want? What do I want? What do you need? What do I need? How am I going to give you what you need? How do you give me what I need so that we can meet and exceed each other's needs? So what's the vision? Who's doing what? Who's doing this for the kids? Who's doing this for the spouse? Who's cooking? Which days? What are we eating? Which bills? Who's paying what bills? Who's taking care of what? Who's thinking about the other person in the other space, so that we're not a mind reader or becoming frustrated because we're not reading each other's minds, when maybe I did read your mind, but perhaps, as my wife said, I got on autopilot because that was what you needed or what you wanted for so long. And now it's your birthday. It's our anniversary. Stress is different at work. You in a different tension. You in a different space. And now you want something different. But if you want something different, tell me you want something different. Or if you do want something different and I don't give it to you, then communicate it so I can know that and I can grow from that. So what roles are we playing? So when you're having a vision conversation in your marriage, in the evolution of your marriage, you're asking who's playing what's role, what's most important, what are we doing, and then communicating that expectation.
And I think what is so good about the evolution of your relationship, especially building your family, you know, if you have children in your family and they're of age where they can do various things, then the roles that the two of you have the expectation of now can kind of, some of that can be alleviated with your children. So for us right now, you know, I'm cooking, but my daughter is cooking, and I'm grateful for her wanting to cook. And I even sense sometimes when she feels that I'm a little tired or stressed, and she'll be like, Mommy, I'll just do it. Like, what are we doing or whatever? And that helps. So it's like that whole reconnection is reevaluating where you are. Your children are not 6 anymore. They're 12 and 13.
And I'm not tripping when my daughter wants to cook. Like, that's your responsibility, not her. Me and my daughter now have created a bond with it about cooking and picking the meals, and we'll do it together, and I'll laugh and eat and taste and compliment and celebrate her because I know she's in a growing space. And where that was my unexpectation for my wife, I think that's why she didn't give me nothing to eat, because she didn't got a little comfortable about my daughter feeding me. But anyway, like I was saying, I digress. In the process of it, you know, I think that that's something that as we evolve, it allows my daughter and I to have a different bond. And then my wife evolved into she gets to do something else because she's not doing that. And that's just because that's what we grew to, and it's okay. But what's most important is to understand what roles you're playing and what roles you expect your spouse to play in your marriage at every level, at every stage. What you needed while they was in school may not be what you needed when they graduated. What you needed while they was working 2 jobs might not be what you need when they get a promotion. What you need, you understand what I'm saying?
And even, but even there, because even with the whole thing, now that they're graduated, whatever, you can't assume that because they graduated that now, okay, then I'm just going to go back to what it was. Like, that's a conversation because you have learned this behavior. And I think the other person doesn't realize that I have learned this behavior and it has been a sacrifice.
That's right.
It's not because I wanted to do it. It was because I was sacrificing because I love you. And so the respect of all of that is that when you end a thing, that you appreciate what they have sacrificed for you to be able to end something, for you to have the promotion, for you to, get the new job, for you to do all of these other things, the sacrifice. Because, I tell husbands all the time, whatever you see your wife do, you did not see the 15 other things that she did. Right. You have no clue what she did to make sure that everything is good for you. You didn't see when she picked up the poop or she picked up the sock and all the other kind of stuff. You have no clue. If you have a dog. Not your kids pooping on the floor or whatever.
Or maybe the kids, right? If you got a small time.
Right. But the conversation is the sacrifice that the other person is making so that you can do what you need to do for a certain time. Don't assume that is just something that they wanted to do. No, they love you and they sacrificed that for you. And that's a conversation of reconnection when you have been promoted or you have completed something.
She said, I'm praying for you, Lady Erica, because I get your perspective. That's good. Pray for her. Listen, the next thing in that same space is to pick up what she said. Not only do you need to have a vision conversation. Number 2, you need to make sure you're visible, that the other person feels like they're visible,
that
right?
They're being seen.
That's right. visible. Everybody type visible, right? So when you're visible or seen, then you are celebrating, you're acknowledging, you're complimenting, you are paying attention to the things that you may not pay attention to. Now, don't get crazy. Don't feel like you should get a compliment about every little thing you do. But some things that you do as a part of your routine or your responsibility that you take on or part of your portion of the vision, don't take them for granted, where you never let them feel like that they're seen and that they're heard, because being visible goes a long way. I felt like,
invisible.
Exactly. I'm like, everybody got food but me. And I keep going back to this because it's our thesis, right? I get it. I'm past it. And yes, y'all can talk about me in the comments.
We're not talking about you, babe.
It's okay. What I'm saying is that it's okay for them to see it that way, because I want to be extremely transparent and extremely vulnerable to make the point, because it's so many spouses. So we often hear about the husbands that don't do this and don't do that, right? But we rarely hear about the ones that do the stuff, right? They take care of their business. They handle the business. And because it's like what a man's supposed to do. Or the wife that handles her business. And then it's like, it's what a wife's supposed to do. You know what I'm saying? That we miss the moments to celebrate, and that person starts to feel taken for granted. They don't feel seen, and they don't feel heard. That puts your marriage, that puts your relationship on autopilot and puts you in a very dangerous space.
I think a space that we were in is that I had just got tired of cleaning up after my kids. I just went straight plumb
I remember
off.
that.
I just
I wasn't here. I was at work.
He walked in and I was just going so off on them, right? I didn't raise my voice, but I was just going off. I'm tired of y'all, whatever, and I'm going off. And so then my husband is looking at me and he's like trying to like sense how he should like engage himself, how he should help his children, whatever. And so he looks at me and he's like, babe, I'm gonna, if you need me to do something. And in that moment, in that split second, I felt visible. I felt like he saw me, and not that he didn't see me. But in that moment, with me ranting and raving about the kids, he was like, "Babe, if you need me to wash the dish or the dishes or whatever, I'll do." And in that split second, because them ninjas didn't say nothing, he saw me, and then he went on, and I looked at him, and I was like, "I ain't talking to you, sir, because you the king of this house. So I ain't talking. You ain't got to raise your finger for nothing, because you pay for everything in here." And I had to let him know that, no, I saw you. This rent ain't got nothing to do with you. These got everything to do with your children. I ain't got nothing to do with you. But in that moment, he saw me and I saw him. And I needed him to understand me ranting has nothing to do with you. You don't have to hold these ninjas accountable for nothing. I'm going to handle this, and I just need to handle it in front of you. But then I would see my husband when I was tired, I would see him wash his dish and make sure that the kitchen was clean. I don't know if he was scared, but I knew that he was pinpointing back to that moment and to that time that, like, babe, I see you. I see what you're doing. I see how you trying to make all of this happen.
No, I did that, even though you said I was discluded from that conversation, but I still am in this house to set an example and set a tone for the children. So I didn't want, because they saw how you handled me, to think that that's what they were supposed to do. So I was doing extra to pick up and to clean up after myself, to make a pattern and a point for them, so that they could see that if I'm doing it, y'all could do it too, and hold them accountable. And when you stormed upstairs and went to the room, then I had a meeting with the children and gave them some new instructions and some new perspectives. And you woke up to a different morning.
I woke up. I got this, Mom. I'm taking Monet to school. You need something? You need me to get your coffee? I was like, well, hey. And even my oldest, now he's more just conscious of everything. And it's like, I didn't mean to go off, but it was like I had my mama moment. Like, I understood why she would go off sometime. And it's because they didn't feel like they were being seen.
That's right.
And going in and out of being married for a long period of time, if you don't see your spouse, like, I went through this whole doula training and I was trying to read this book, and it was like everything, it was all I needed. All I wanted to do was read this book. And my husband was away from me when I finished the last page, and I took a picture and I said, babe, I finished my book. It wasn't like, I needed him to validate it, but because I know that I was pulling myself away from him and what was happening, and he respected me and he respected what I was doing, I needed him to be able to celebrate with me too.
Yeah. So it's like, while she was trying to read the book, she changed the subject. But while she was trying, they like, what are you talking about? So she was trying to read this book in this space, and I knew it was a very high priority. So I just kept, I wasn't extra needy. I didn't need anything. I was finding other stuff to do. I was taking the kids away so she could have this moment to complete this book, because I knew it was a priority. So when she finished it, she acknowledged that all of the subtle stuff that I was doing to give her space and time to finish that book, she acknowledged that she recognized I was doing that on purpose. And it wasn't an accident that I was disappearing and I was getting my own food and I was, taking care of. I don't mean it like that. What I mean is that that's for the people that's trying to act like, I'm a spoiled brat. Exactly. So I was acknowledging that she was acknowledging by completing the book that she saw my efforts in giving her space, right? And it's like, husbands, wives, we want to be acknowledged for the extra. You want to be acknowledged for the little things that you do that's subtle, right? That paid attention to how and what, is necessary and what played a part in creating a comfort zone or a space for your spouse. You want to be acknowledged, because if you don't, then you feel invisible. If you don't feel visible, then you feel invisible. And to feel invisible means that you're open for validation and affirmation for other things getting your attention, other people getting your attention, because wherever you feel appreciated or celebrated, or wherever you're getting some attention, you will gravitate, especially for a man, your ego, you will gravitate to wherever the attention is. And that's not always another woman. Sometimes it's a coworker. Sometimes it's your friend. Sometimes it's something else that you pick up, a hobby or a habit, something where you just feel like, your children, you just feel like this is an area that I feel appreciated. I feel seen and I feel heard. And so when you're reimagining your relationships, make sure that not only you talk about what's the vision, where are we now? Where are we at this stage? Where are we at this age? Where are we at this season? Where are we with our children? What's the vision? What's the roles? What's the expectations? And communicate them. But you also make sure that you're visible so that you can feel seen and feel heard. You want to say something to that before we jump to the third?
And I think it also, not only you do this so well, not only with your spouse, but also with your children, that your children feel seen. Like, even though they're in kindergarten and somebody hurt their feelings, I saw a post one earlier this week of my friend that was just talking about, his daughter, she was just talking, she's 5, and she was just talking. He said, and the Lord pricked him and said, pay attention to what she's saying. And he was able to give her relationship advice about her little friends in class. But it was a moment that he was able to connect with his daughter because he saw her. He came to her level so that she could understand that daddy sees you. Yeah. And you need to make sure that your children feel like they are being seen. My husband would just, what do y'all think about that? And how is that? And then I watch them just come in to his conversation. I love to watch it. And they just come into his conversation because they feel seen. They feel like
have a voice.
They have a voice and they feel seen and they feel like he knows where they are and all that kind of stuff. So it's good that not only your spouse feels like that they are visible, but also everybody that you're responsible in your household feels that they are visible.
Yeah. Number 3, and the last one, and then we out because our 30 minutes is already up. Listen, the third thing is valued. All right. It's going to be a V if you know me. Valued. Everybody type valued. So number 1, what's the vision, right? What's the roles? Make sure you reconnect on the vision, reconnect on the expectation. Number 2, that you feel visible, that your spouse is seen and heard and appreciated and loved and honored and respected for what they do. Somebody said, Pastor, you are spoiled. Yeah, I'm spoiled, but don't forget what you heard her say. She's spoiled as well. She's taken care of. And that's the goal. That's what you're supposed to do. You're supposed to feel like you got what you need in the context of relationship.
I don't have to, and just okay, because you talking about my husband is spoiled. Yes, he is spoiled. He is spoiled. And his mama told me, girl, you are anointed for this man. His mama and his sisters did this to him. So I just picked up from what they do. So if I don't do it, they gonna do it. So it's like, this is just who he is. And that's what I signed up for. And I think that, my grandmother said to me one time, she was like, I think I was making a plate for somebody that some guy was dating at the time. And she said, don't do something that you ain't gonna keep doing. Don't do nothing that you cannot continue to make a habit. So everything that I try to do with my husband, I've tried to make a habit of it because my grandmother is in my ear.
Secreta think this real funny. I'm just saying. Go ahead.
No, because she said something about her husband. She said, I'm loving this. He quiet. I think if I remember correctly. But it's like, you have
Sean said, I'm spoiled. I said it like you, Sean. I'm spoiled.
I'm just saying. And there's nothing wrong with loving your spouse in a way that it's only you that loves them that way. And yes, some other people will look at it, and some women will look at it and be like, girl, I wouldn't be doing that. And be like, girl, you don't have to. You don't have to do it because I do it. And I don't have a problem doing it. Because when I push my gas tank, it's full. When I turn my car, I don't have to worry about, do I got a jacked up car? Is it going to be fixed? I don't have to worry about where I'm living and how much food I'm going to have. I don't have to worry about that.
It's reciprocal. It's not one way.
So it's not,
we have roles.
What I do for my husband, I do it out of a place of love, but I won't say mainly, but I do it because it is given back to me. This is not something that I'm starving from and I'm hoping I don't know. I don't hope. I don't have to have faith for that. With that, I don't. He gonna give me everything, mind, body, and spirit. All of it.
Number 3.
And no lacking. No drought. I am not in the desert.
Number 3.
Nowhere. Okay.
Number 3.
Nowhere.
Valued is what you want to make sure that they feel. Okay.
Be uncomfortable.
Value. Okay. So in the value, it's all about how you express and how it's communicated. You want to make sure that you don't assume anything, but you want them to know how you feel about them. Thanks for letting me know. how you feel about them. You want them to know. I talk to husbands, babe. I tell you this all the time.
Yeah.
Husbands that's handling the business, paying the bills, breadwinners, taking care of it, and they feel undervalued. They don't feel seen. They don't feel heard. They feel taken for granted.
Yeah.
You know, almost not even appreciated. We talk to wives. Same thing on the flip side when they married to that guy that don't,
you just supposed to.
Yeah, that don't do the other half, right? When there's no meat in the middle and they feel like they do everything and they don't feel valued. Hey guys, make your spouse feel valued. Make them feel valued. Value is equated with time. It's equated with communication. Is how you communicate, is what you say, it's the way you say it. Don't assume that they know how you feel about them. You hear me? Don't assume that they know how you feel about them. Make sure that they know how you feel about them. I thought you knew that I appreciate you. Did you tell me you appreciate me? Make sure they know. I thought you, my wife will, when we go on a trip or on a vacation or something, there's always a moment, or when we finish, actually it's not always there's always a moment where all my children say thank you for the trip, right? Yeah. But my children say thank you like at every meal. Thanks, Dad. Thanks, Dad. Or thanks, Dad, because they know, like,
they can see the price.
They walk away from they order what they want, walk away, and thanks, Dad. You know what I'm saying? It's like, and I don't ever say, oh, you don't have to say thank you. I say thank you. You're welcome. You know what I'm saying? Because I don't want them to feel like that just because I take joy in doing it, that I shouldn't feel appreciated for what I do. Nobody wants to feel like they're unappreciated.
And they're not valued. They're not, like, it's just, it's so... It helps your relationship so much more than you could ever think of. And most of the time, the moments to give a compliment or to show value is you hear it, you feel it, you sense it, and you're like, I ain't finna say that. Yeah. I'm not gonna say, oh, I appreciate you going to work every day. Like, I'm not gonna say that. That's corny. They're gonna look at me like, what is it? No, say it. Because the thing that you forget in connection, that what your heart, what I feel the Holy Spirit is telling you to say, is because the other person needs to hear it. That's what you're saying, that quote unquote corny thing. You think it's corny. I don't need to say that. They already know that. But it came up, and it came up because the Holy Spirit wants you to give that to that person, because life and death is in the power of your tongue. Yeah. And sometimes we have allowed the enemy to grab our tongue to be able, that could free our spouse, that could put them in a different headspace, that could cause depression to come off. Because when you're connected and you're connected in the spirit, that, like, there'll be things that I'll just say to my husband, and I know it sounds weird, but he's open and transparent. He'd be like, I really needed that, babe.
Yeah. I mean, my wife washes my clothes, right? I will wash my clothes. I enjoy it. It's the thing with her that she's like, I want to wash your clothes. So fine. She washes my clothes. It's a part of our agreement, her role. It's something she does. But I still say, thanks for washing my clothes. I still can say thank you just because it's something she did. She cooks me some food. I still can say thank you. Oh, that was good. Oh, I didn't like it. Oh, it wasn't good. Whatever. But thank you, right? So it's like, let's not take each other for granted. Let's show value. And let's not show more value to people outside of our home.
You should not, if you are a hospitable person, you should not show hospitality to strangers more than you do the people in your house.
Let's not show more value outside of our home than we do inside of our home, right? So when you're reimagining your relationship and you rebuilding the foundation of what it is that you have at different stages, different ages, different places, you have different ideas, right, about your relationship, what makes it successful. And let's overcompensate on expressing what vision is. Let's overexpress what the visibility of our efforts are. And let's overexpress that we appreciate and we share value. We wanted to be transparent tonight, so we got into it. We hoped you learned something. Hope you got something out of it. Hope you can see that marriage take work, right? And it'll work if you work it. And it have phases and places and evolution. And you're supposed to be evolving together. You're
'Cause
supposed to be
your
growing
marriage
together.
is a living organism.
Yeah, it's alive.
It's alive.
Right?
I am the same person that I was 6 years ago, but I'm not.
Yeah, and I'm not.
And
either.
he's not either.
Yeah.
And
or 3 years ago.
Or 3 years ago. Or
Yeah.
last week.
Yes. Whatever. But that's the point, though, right? Isn't it that we're with someone that you can evolve with, that you can grow with, not somebody that's so predictable, is so stale, they're not changing. You got it. You know what they want without even thinking about it. You know what they ain't gonna do without. I mean, there's areas you should know without them thinking about it that are predictable, but there's also areas where you should still be communicating. Hey, even if you tell me that you want the same thing, it won't be because I didn't ask you. Do you want something different? Do you need something different? Do you still like that? Do you still enjoy that? Are you enjoying that right now? What?
That's true.
It was your look though.
What did I do?
I don't know. You just look different. Your cheeks got red or something.
They are red. I don't know what's happening.
It's because you're this close to me, all up on me. Anyway, 190 houses jumped up on a pop-up, eh?
A pop-up.
190 on a pop-up on a Monday. Listen, thank you for rocking with us. Marriage Monday is about to be a podcast, y'all, on all platforms. We're about to push it up on a podcast, all the episodes, new episodes. You don't want to miss it. I need you. I'm going to tell you when we're going to be on the lookout. I'm going to tell you when we're going to release it. But Marriage Monday is on a pop-up. Listen, if you want to get information about when we dropping in, different stuff that's happening, we're about to do, now that we outside, we're about to do a Creative Marriage Conference again. It's coming up later on. We want to get in a room with you, help you build your marriage, right? Create the marriage you want. If you want to, you can just text marriage to 773-302-1421.
Yeah, say that for Instagram.
Yeah. 773-302-1421. Text the word marriage. But yeah, we about to be a podcast. We excited. My birthday's Friday, and so I'm reflective this week. Super reflective. I'm thankful for my life, for this tribe, all of you, how you connect with us, my wife, my family. We're growing, we're evolving, and we do it in front of you because we don't want you to think that when you got to grow and evolve, that something's wrong with you, because it's not. All right. Thank you for rocking with us. If you grew here, sow where you grow. We always give you an opportunity to sow where you grow, because if you sow into it, you can use it for yourself. Don't just take it, put something there, $5, $10, $20. I don't know. The marriage counselors always tell us that we give up so much information. They have sent people to our YouTubes and our channels that have helped and blessed marriages. If you thought about something different, if this helped you reimagine your relationship, put a seed there, sow where you grow, put something in the ground. We share what you sow, all right? And it comes back to you, good measure, pressed down, shaken together, and running over. We hope that you learned something tonight. Thanks for rocking with us on this evening, and we appreciate all the seeds that you sow. May it come back to you, good measure, pressed down, shaken together, and running over. All right. So did y'all learn something tonight? Was it good? I see it. Thank you for the happy birthdays. It's not till Friday. Don't try to do it now and then don't do it on Friday. No, I'm just playing. Thank you right now.
51st birthday.
51st birthday. It ain't my 51st birthday. No. I'm not 50. I am not 50. Thank you so much. I'm glad it was something that was beneficial to you. Thank you for your prayers. Pray for us, y'all. We live in this life called marriage, and we're doing it together, and we want you to do it. All right. All your relationships be blessed. So where you grow, put a seed in the ground. Don't just hit it and run and go, so that you can make sure that it takes root in your life. You want to say something, babe, to the people before we go?
No, just thank you. Thank you. I appreciate you guys. We appreciate you guys just logging on and trusting us.
Yeah.
Entrusting us. It is not, we don't take it for granted that you entrust us with your life and with your marriage. And we take this very seriously. This is not something that we try hard to live out in front of you what is a kingdom marriage with kingdom principles. And we are
and kingdom challenges.
But we have committed ourselves to be committed to each other and committed to what God has brought together. And that's what you can know for sure. Yeah,
that's the mission. And so we ask you to apply that. Tell everybody if this was good, share it with somebody so that they can.
They want the number again.
The number?
Mhm.
Let me put the number back up. It's text marriage to. There you go. That's all you got to do.
What's the Cash App? The Cash App is
Jamone Glenn.
Jamone Glenn.
Yep.
Jamone Glenn. That's Instagram is asking.
Oh,
Jamone
thank you.
Glenn.
Right. And IG, I forgot. Y'all can't see it. Y'all can't see it on there. Yes, my Cash App is Jamone Glenn. That's the Cash App. All right. So you can find it also on the top of the page. Man, 190 of y'all jumped in on a quick. Wow. Am I in the right room? Is this for the singles?
The singles
Pastor Will.
on.
That's Pastor Will.
Oh.
Being silly. Don't get her started on you because she knows.
Started.
You know she's trying to.
I'm trying to find you a girl. I mean a wife. Okay. All right, I'm trying.
Here we go. My marriage is blessed.
My marriage is blessed.
My spouse and I are led by the Spirit of God.
My spouse and I are led by the Spirit of God.
When we pray together in unity.
When we pray together in unity.
Our prayers are powerful.
Our prayers are powerful.
And we get results. We make every effort to establish. Peace and harmony in our home. And together we walk in agreement. And we are an unstoppable force. And if we get angry. Because I did. We are quick to forgive. So that we do not have strife. In our relationship. We are not self-seeking. Rude. Proud. Boastful. Jealous. Instead, we are loving. Kind. Patient. And we put each other's needs. Before our own. Man. Yeah. We trust each other. And protect the sanctity of our marriage. And what God has joined together. We will not be separated. All right. I love y'all. Thank you for rocking with us today. See y'all later. So will you grow? And we'll see y'all. That's the marriage declaration. Peace. Share it. Y'all keep asking for me to post this declaration. No. You can watch it again and you can write it down. But I'm not going to post it. All right? I love y'all, IG. Peace out. Go to YouTube. You can watch it in fullness. And we out. All right, now. I'll see y'all later up here on YouTube and Facebook. Y'all still hanging around. Y'all did not leave. Usually,
did they say anything?
Usually when we do that SOW where you grow part, people jet out.
They did. 20 people
20 people left. Oh,
can
okay.
we watch the replay?
Yeah, you can watch the replay. I'm about to push it back up again because people usually jet out on the SOW where you grow. Yeah. But y'all stuck around and y'all put some seed in the ground. You said somebody got some questions?
I don't know. Just looking. Just scroll down.
All right. Somebody said I got some work to do. Can we watch the replay? Yeah, the replay going to go live. Yeah, I'm waiting for the music. Yeah, you can't do music the same way because you get flagged now. So that's why we don't always play it. Y'all both are a true blessing. Thank you. All right, we got to go. We love y'all. That's the way it is. Peace. Hey, and we out. And we out. And we out. And we out.